Still loading, huh?
Oh, now we are live.
And now we go live, everybody. Welcome to the Patrick Carr Show, everybody. We're here on a Tuesday morning right now. Very happy to be with y'all here on a Tuesday. It's exciting always we can get together in the morning, spend a little bit of time together. We've got Anthony, as always, behind the scenes. How you doing this morning, brother?
Pretty good.
Good, man. Good. We got a lot of great stuff that we're going to be able to get to today. I think we're also going to be able to get to some trending stuff that's happening in real time, right?
Yep.
We're going to have a little bit of time today. And by the way, Ghost Energy, if you want to go ahead and get that sponsorship rolling our way, we've got about 10 of them right over here. So just go ahead and hook us up. We live on this stuff right here, everybody. But again, we're going to try to bring you, if it's your first time joining us, if you're new to the show, we're going to bring you some great stuff that is going on across the country with an emphasis on Florida. So if you're in Florida, tune in for everything. A channel like Fox and CBS and all those people, they won't talk to you about, but we'll do it here, and we'll give you the real story. The first thing I got to talk about here, Anthony, today is something that happened over the weekend, and I wanted to kind of get the story together before I broke it because, well, yesterday I was just trying to piece together what exactly this entire thing was. For those of you who are not aware, over the weekend, a bunch of Democrats got together for what's called Leadership Blue. It is actually the biggest annual convention, and it's held at Disney World Convention Center. The keynote was Pete Buttigieg. I don't know, that's the guy who does the transportation stuff. And the gubernatorial candidates, David Jolly and Dana Marie Foster. Who cares who the Democrats are putting up for governor? Like, they have a chance of becoming governor in the state of Florida. But you have this leadership conference for a bunch of Democrats. 1,000 of them show up, and they're going to be talking about everything from the economy to, well, more about the economy. And I got to admit, there's a lot of irony here for me that a bunch of Democrats show up to a completely Democratic-ran city, which we already reviewed yesterday. Everybody that sits in the city council for Orlando, Democrat. Everybody on Orange County, Democrat. In fact, the one individual who was a Republican left back in April. So you've got all these Democrats that are showing up to talk about, man, how we're going to be leaders in the community and how we're going to make things more affordable. We're going to talk about the economy, everybody. Meanwhile, they do it from Disney World, okay, which most families can't even afford to go to right now. And next, I want to talk about the numbers that backed up Orlando. Imagine the irony of coming to a city to hold your annual conference, and this is what the number says. Orlando in Orange County ranks dead last. I'm talking about 50th out of 50 among America's largest metro for median wages, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We're lower than Birmingham, Alabama, or Louisville, Kentucky, everybody. The median, so the average salary, the average that somebody is bringing in here is less than any other major area, everyone. And yet Democrats will come to Orlando, sit inside of Disney, and then somehow tout the fact that they're doing somehow a good job. How can these people come to Orlando and think, man, this seems like a safe place for us to come? Well, it's because leadership here has been Democratic, and I guess that Orlando and Orange County just hasn't woke up to just how bad everything is. The economy in Orlando, we all know it's suffering. We all feel it. But you ever thought about why? One thing if I'd like to be a fly on the wall in this conference would have been them looking around and going, leisure and hospitality being the major driver in Orlando's economic output. Not health, not tech. And I know all those people out there are going to say, look, what is it? That big airline, the planes. What is it? Not Northrop Grumman, but the one over there, the specialized in the military planes and all that stuff. God, it's going to come to my mind right now. Not Northrop Grumman, but the one who's competing against them. Can you look that up?
Yeah.
Oh man, we have so much tech in Orlando. No, we don't. Everybody who works at the parks knows that they're underpaid. And we don't have a lot of tech in Orlando, and we all realize it. There's not a lot of good health care in Orlando, and the thing is just freaking falling apart. Disney World is the largest single. Who is it?
Lockheed Martin?
Lockheed Martin. Yeah, we've got the Lockheed Martin site. Someone's going to come up and say that crap. We've got Walt Disney, which is the largest single site employer in the entire United States, 77,000 workers. It is the only engine that keeps Orlando moving and Orange County moving. Without it, everything would completely fall apart. There is no other industry in Orlando outside of the tourism when you go down I-4. That's it, everybody. And so when I look at this, I was thinking about, like, why would these people come to Orlando to do a conference? Why would leaders in the Democratic Party want to come here? And the only thing I can think of is that the entire party is just so ignorant to what is actually happening in Orlando, like so many people are, that they're like, oh, we'll go there because, you know what, things are going great in Orlando. I want everyone to understand this. We're going to do it right now. In fact, let's do it. We'll put it up on the screen. If you do have them?
Yeah.
If you can right now, let's show this, all right? We're going to show it on the screen right now. Let's bring up some cities. I did some research this morning. I want everyone to understand, if you look closely at these photos, if you go to Orlando for me, if you can, Anthony, look at the Google Earth for Orlando. What you're going to notice is no cranes, no progress, no development. There is not a thing happening in downtown Orlando. It's a ghost town, everybody. There's not one building that is going up. There's not any economic progress at all. These Democrats show up here to Orlando and they want to tout what they're doing to help affordability, but there is nothing happening in a city. And it's not about affordability, everybody. It's about economic progress that this city is just halted with. There's nothing going on in Orange County and nothing going on in Orlando. And then, Anthony, if you take and you shift it over to Miami, first of all, you just see the extreme size difference right now in Miami. And then if you look closely, you'll see crane after crane, building after building. And this is only 3.5 hours south of Orlando, but yet it's night and day difference into the economic development that the city is experiencing. In addition to that, I've got another picture right there. You can see with the drawbridge. You can see the cranes in the background that we have right there, Anthony. We have cranes going on everywhere in Miami. Why can't Orlando have the development that Miami has? There's no reason. Now, you could even make the argument, Anthony, that both of them are led by Democratic individuals. They're both Democrats who lead both cities. So it could even be, if you really were a Democrat out there and you really wanted to support your party, then isn't it about time to say, okay, listen, it's not the Democratic Party, but it is the leadership that we have in Orlando. Even if you are a blue person through and through, don't you just want what's best for the city of Orlando? And isn't it maybe time to say, okay, there's Democratic leadership down there in Miami and they're blowing up. All right. Then you look at us and we are stagnant as can be. So, okay, Patrick, listen, I'll give you this. It's not a political party problem. It's just an ignorance problem from leadership. I'm willing to go there with you, everyone. If we're willing to meet in the middle on this one, I think we can all agree that we just have inept leadership in the city of Orlando. And later on, once we get these people out of there, then we can fight about what party needs to take their place. But when I look at this, Anthony, go to Jacksonville as well. Jacksonville, another city, if you look closely, again, you have buildings that are popping up. You have progress right along the river. Go to Tampa. Anthony, if we go to Tampa, man, it is sprawling out there. Again, you have everything built around the lightning out there that's going up, all of those condos that have gone up right there along the bay. You have all sorts of economic development, and then you go back to Orlando, and you just see what appears to be a ghost town. It looks like one of those, you know what Orlando looks like, Anthony? Orlando looks like one of those Western towns that you walk into, and like the sagebrush like comes across. And it's like, okay, what happened to this place? And again, folks, I'm going to keep on harping on this because I want to see it change. And it's not difficult to do because you can look at cities that are surrounding Orlando and you can go, you know what? They're doing a lot better than what we are. We're between the largest university and the number one tourist destination in the country. Shouldn't we be doing better here? We're 45 minutes from a beautiful beach in New Smyrna. We're 45 minutes over there from Daytona, everybody. So it's not like you don't have any access over to the water. You got beautiful lakes here. You got surrounding counties that are awesome. The problem is it's not affordable to live in Orange County. It's not affordable to live in Orlando. You don't get anything as far as amenities for living in Orlando, so nobody wants to live there. And so when I looked at this and I saw that Democrats are flooding into Orlando over the weekend, I couldn't understand why, except for the fact that they have the same ignorance that brings people from overseas into Orlando to live here. We did the story yesterday and we talked about the exodus out of Orange County has been immense. Over 20,000 people leaving the county. All right. These are leaving the county to go to other parts of the country. The only thing that allowed Orange County to have a positive, a 0.5 increase, all right, in population was foreigners moving here from other countries. That's it. Americans are not coming here. Foreigners are coming here and they're settling in Orlando, Orange County. Cool, more power to them. All right. I don't have a problem with that. But what's happening is that the general population around this area, Lake County, Osceola County, Volusia County, these counties don't want to move to Orange, don't want to move to Orlando because the game is up, everybody, and they can see what the problems are. And so what's happened is that exactly why Democrats would pick an area like Orlando is exactly the problem that we have. The perception from the outside world is that Orlando is doing well. We've got the parks, record tourism of over 70 million. Orlando is thriving. Meanwhile, if you live in the greater Orlando and Orange County area, you know better. You see it for yourself. By the way, another restaurant closed its doors. 17 now. All right, 17 in 6 months, everybody. We're seeing this mass exodus of small businesses and families out of Orange County and into Lake County because it's more affordable and there's better opportunities. People don't want to work in Orange County anymore because for the most part, it's a crap hole. All right. There's not a lot of nice parts of Orange County that you can go and you can experience. Lord knows there's nowhere you can go downtown. The heart and the heartbeat of the metro, of our metropolis area, of our commerce that we are supposed to have here in Orlando or in Orange County is supposed to be right there, and it's not. And so, this story for me is an interesting one here because I think it speaks to a broader perspective of Orlando, Anthony, that most people are not considering or talking about.
Yeah, definitely interesting. And once you mentioned the cranes, I started driving down to West Palm where I'm from, and definitely a stark difference from seeing the cranes up there compared to here. There's like nothing.
Folks, go for yourself to Google Earth right now. First put in Orlando, no cranes, and then go look at the other cities of Florida. Go to Miami, progress everywhere. Tampa, it's sprawling. Jacksonville along the river, and then back to Orlando where you're going to see nothing is happening. There's a reason, folks, and it doesn't have to do with Democrat versus Republican. It just has to do with ignorant leadership who have no idea how to progress a city forward. The city of Orlando has been stuck in 2003 for the last 23 years. And we need leadership that can push this thing forward, who understand how economic development is actually supposed to work. What we don't need are people that say, well, we don't have enough money, so we need more affordable housing. That is not the way you lift a community up. You have to get economic development into the community so you drive wages up, and then people can afford to live in those places because wages and small businesses have been propped up. That is the role of the government, to provide an environment where businesses and small business entrepreneurs can thrive in an area. You don't want to take away from that environment, which Orlando has done, while Miami has fostered it. You want to know why? I don't know. The 11 towers. All right. You seen this, bro?
Yeah.
Okay. Folks, if you want an example, if you're tuning in from your car or something, you want to see what economic development looks like in an entertainment district, go out there and put in 11 towers, Miami. So they have 2 towers that are being built. I mean, these things are massive, Anthony. Okay. They tower above the 11 nightclub and club space in downtown Miami. These things are immaculate. The pools look like something out of just a movie. All right. It's a Vegas style everything. Bro, look at this. 11 is a club down there, right? Okay. It's awesome. I mean, everybody knows 11. You've all seen the hats. Y'all know it, right? The 11 residences, these 2 towers, you can actually get the music from 11 pumped into your condo there. All right. You can have yourself a little party if that's what you want to do. There's all sorts of cool things. The amenities, they have a bridge that goes between the freaking towers. Just what is right there in that one block of, I think it's like 11th Street. That right there is more economic development in a matter of one street than in the entire downtown Orlando has going on right now. One street. And there are probably 100 projects like that throughout downtown Miami that are going on right now. Orlando is seeing the benefit of nothing. Democrats, it's okay. It's okay to come over here to the bright side. And the bright side is stop playing these games of Democrat versus Republican and, oh, I've got to be on my liberal side, and start just saying, hey, you know what? We've got some people that are in office. I usually side with the party that they side with, but these people are morons and have no idea how to progress a city. So, hey, you know what, Patrick? I'll agree with you on this one. Let's get those people out. I'll disagree with you on what we do to replace them. But for right now, man, I'm on your side. Because I'm going to tell you what, Anthony, we need more towers like the 11 towers in downtown Miami. We need that kind of stuff here. Oh my God, I can't believe it. You look, Patrick, it's like 1.5 million for a condo. Yeah, not everyone can afford that. That's a good thing. Because the people that can will come to Orlando and downtown for the amenities, and they'll be a part of that downtown culture. They will spend their money in downtown restaurants. If you build it, they will come. I mean, what the Field of Dreams. Let's just play Kevin Costner here. Build it, everybody. Build a mall. Build a street in downtown Orlando. Let's get private industry in there, not government economic development. Enough of this crap. And listen, we had, Anna, Escamani. I was forgetting your last name. Forgive me, Anna. And me and her just completely disagree. She talks about economic development by increasing the amount of affordable housing. And I pushed her back on this, or I pushed back on this with her in our episode, or in our podcast, I should say, that we had together. And what I was like, you know what? When people hear that, we all think the same thing is, oh God, here we go. It's just going to be more of this Section 8 type stuff. And it doesn't raise the property values of downtown. These people cannot afford to go to restaurants in downtown, and it's not going to improve the downtown landscape. It's not going to improve entertainment in downtown. And like, it's nice. It's such a picturesque thing to think, oh boy, you know what? This is going to really help people to live down there, and it's going to become a thriving community. No, it's not. Not unless you have the other stuff that's propping it up. You can't take what is crap, create more crap, and then expect you're going to raise everybody up. You must have a place where people can go, where property values skyrocket. And then you also have places where people can actually live and they can work their way up to that. You can't have one without the other. This is not like, I'm not an economist here, okay? I'm not a smart guy, but I can go down to an area and go, okay, there's Miami, a great example. That area right there, not so nice. That area, very nice. Both people are living in the downtown area. One area I wouldn't go to. The other I would aspire to live to. It's okay to have both, but you can't just have the crap area without the other one and expect that your downtown is going to thrive and your county is going to thrive. That's ignorance. That's stupidity. It doesn't work.
I think with honors, like, I get the idea, and it would be good if we had that nice side of downtown and then be like, you know, we need affordable housing, but right now no one's even going to downtown, not because it's not affordable, but because you don't like how downtown is. Like, people spend a lot of money to live in downtown. Mm-hmm. People do it all the time, but just no one wants to be there because it's crap. So if having affordable housing's only really going to make it even more crap downtown.
Yes. Okay. When the time to add affordable housing is when there's become an affordability problem because so many people want to go to an area and they can't. And it's like, hey, listen, we've got a lot of people living, working. There's a culture downtown, and we have a segment of the population who wants to move down there, who is working class, and they can't do it. That's the time when you introduce affordable housing. But we don't have that right now. Nobody wants to be in downtown. The people that are locked into their 24-month lease that they signed last year are sitting there going, what am I doing here at $3,500 a month for my one bedroom? Because they want to get out of it. They don't want to be down there. They want to move to areas like I have, like Winter Park and others, because they look at it and go, it's ran a heck of a lot better than it is over here. And so you have people that are a mass exodus out. And then you have leaders that are trying to come in here and go affordable housing. For what? Like, where are the firefighters knocking down the wall to go ahead and say, I want to live in downtown Orlando? They don't exist. They're in a very small vacuum of people that want to live down there. What you need is to make it a place that people want to live, increase property values by adding amenities and sky rises and multi-use facilities on the bottom floor, like a First Watch and a FedEx, and like, these nice stores that people can walk into or professionals. And then as the property values go up, you introduce affordable housing, give those people something to aspire to in downtown that they can move their way up and they see a progression of progress that can be made. And then government get the hell out of the way and let private industry build up a city. This is what Orlando needs. It's what Florida needs. And it doesn't matter to me what side of the aisle you're politically on. Common sense tells you what we're doing right now ain't working. When everybody else is thriving, but one city is sit there stuck in 2003 with no progress, it's very clear it's a leadership problem. And that's what happens when you have a mayor here for 20 plus years who can't get out of his own way and is so hungry for power that he will not relinquish it. That is the truth. I'm going to tell you right now, I'll make my prediction right now, Anthony. Buddy Dyer has come out and said he's not running for re-election. I think he will. Mm-hmm. I don't think the man's ready to give up the power.
He wants to see his vision coming through the sidewalk.
You're right. He does. That's it. You're absolutely correct. He wants to see his vision come through for parks in downtown Orlando, sky rises in Miami, a thriving metropolis in Tampa, a great riverside entertainment district in Jacksonville, and parks in Orlando, the Buddy Dyer Parks Initiative. I feel like I should go watch, like, what is that? A comedy show, Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
That is like Orlando right there. That must be what they like. That must be like behind the scenes, what it's like in Orlando, the Parks and Rec show. Okay. Like Swanson or Ron Swanson. You just see that guy, right? Oh, great show. Oh, God. No progress. Let's not be like Miami. Let's just build parks underneath I-4. God. Folks, I can't really a park under an interstate. Who's the brainiac who thought of that dumb idea?
I feel like with all these things, I feel like they're thinking like these are, don't get me wrong, these are like parks and making the sidewalks bigger and all this stuff. These are good if we had a thriving downtown where it's like, oh shoot, we need more parks, we need more sidewalks where people can walk. But we're missing a big step, which is fixing downtown, which is just...
Yeah. Like yesterday, we talked about $18 million being invested into the public library downtown.
Yeah.
Stupid, ignorant investment. No other way to look at it, everybody. Now, that doesn't mean I hate libraries. You hate books. Fahrenheit 451, Patrick. Oh, my gosh. Shut up. All right. Here's the real deal. I understand there's a priority that there has to be when you spend money. You can't just go out there and go, well, that has the same priority as public safety. That has the same priority as fixing up the outside and making a walkable street. And so what the city did really in the county is they allocated those funds only for the library, okay? Thinking that I guess somehow this was going to be a building that people wanted to save. That's a poor allocation of money. That's a poor vote. That's not the way it should go. That money should be allocated other places that are more important in the priorities for downtown Orlando. Not to say that it doesn't deserve a priority, but it surely is not where money needs to be spent right now. If you want to go spend $9 million on fixing the roof, which is 9 out of the 18 million, good luck. Cool. Go make it so that you know what, it's not leaking. I don't have a problem with that. It's probably a flat roof. They're probably getting ripped off on the price. I can't imagine how 9 million on a flat roof. Okay. Like, folks, again, the county, whoever negotiates the contracts for the county, you are a moron. They're just getting screwed left and right. Contractors, if I can make any advice to contractors in Orlando, get with Orlando as you need to get those contracts. You can negotiate any price you want. I mean, you could do $5 million to rip up 300 feet of street. You can get $2 million just to develop some plans and some artist renditions for a park underneath I-4. That's not even to build it. You can just make the plans for $2 million. I mean, listen, get in with Orlando. Stupid investment. But what I'm going back to is there has to be a priority with the money that you spend. And that's the kind of stuff that doesn't make any sense. And we see this time and time again. And, who in their right mind? There's no one with half of a brain who can look at something objectively and say, all right, Patrick, who can say this like with a straight face? What downtown Orlando needs is a park underneath I-4. Like we're going to put down some turf and benches in a park under I-4. And that's going to help with the homeless problem that we have. I want to walk you through that, Patrick, right now. I can't imagine the person who tries to, with a straight face, walk me through that problem. Not a single person I've ever spoken to that has half of a brain would ever think that putting $1 into a park under an interstate in the middle of downtown Orlando would do anything except have a place where homeless people can gather. Who is going to go under a smelly road and hang out with their family on a Saturday afternoon? No one. It's mind-numbing, the ignorance that people have to have. Oh, but look, it's going to be pretty with turf and benches, and it's like a little playground. Yeah, is that playground going to be great when there's needles all over it? There's some guy sleeping on the bench over here. We can't enforce homelessness in downtown right now. Now you're just going to have a whole place where people congregate to. And it's going to be a waste of millions of dollars in this stupid parks initiative from people who have no idea how to even run a city. Anthony, I'm baffled. Usually I can see both sides and I can be like, hey, I'll meet you in the middle. I am baffled by how much ignorance it has to take to go park right underneath I-4. Can you imagine, like, we should go down there, how we'd even talk to one another? I mean, just traffic above you, fumes that you're taking in.
Those trees are gonna die and like.
Oh, they probably won't even put in real trees, man. You put in turf and you put in fake stuff because you know they'll put in nothing real. Because what's going to happen? The homeless people are going to get down there and rip it all up anyway. So you're going to have to do things like bolting stuff into the ground. You have to make, it's going to be a terrible place. And there's so many other priorities of where to spend money. And yet you have all the Democrats, to bring it full circle, who will show up here in Orlando and say, yes, this is a staple of what great economies look like. Look around at these attractions with their record sales. Okay, great. Meanwhile, everything around the attractions, people are sitting there like this, Anthony. They're going, when am I going to see any of this, quote, economic development that we're supposed to get here? You're not under this current leadership. So I'd say it's about time we wake up to the reality on the ground, everybody, because it's bad right now. And I hope that shows like ours and our great listeners who tune in are opening the eyes of fellow citizens, because it's the way that we begin to make change. Is you want people to go, oh, at leadership, because this is how I think it goes, Anthony. They're sitting there in their Parks and Rec office, right? Like, I don't know, they have like a spinner or something. I don't know what they do with their day. Shirley is not worried about Orlando. And I've got to hope that after enough times of being forced to see our content when they open up an Instagram or a Facebook or a YouTube, that eventually they go, oh God, I'm so tired of seeing this. And the next time a stupid vote comes up, like a park underneath an interstate, maybe somebody, I'm just hoping, has a scent of common sense and goes, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but do we maybe think that we can invest the money elsewhere? Just an idea, maybe into like some streets or like cleaning up, maybe some plants or like some trees along that we like make this place beautiful again. Do we maybe think we could put it there instead of a park? I'm just throwing an idea out there. And then hopefully they don't go, well, yeah, a street, we've got Church Street. And you're like, yeah, for $12 million, an eighth of a mile. Great job, everybody. Like maybe that person will go, yeah, can we maybe do a little better job of, I don't know, kind of how we get contractors, and maybe we could.
I feel like this is for me, 10 years ago, I had no problem with Buddy Dyer. I was like, you know what, fine, he's doing okay. Like, I didn't really see any difference, nothing. But I feel like in the last 4 years, like, he has done nothing to help. Like, after that shooting that happened, like, it's just been going straight downhill, and he hasn't improved anything since then. And I feel like all of his plans that he had are from 10 years ago when it was a good city. It was great. So now he's just in this mindset of like, oh, let me do all this stuff that I had 10 years ago. No, you got to pivot. You got to change for what's today, what's now, and see what the city's like now, because all that money he's spending is not going to make it any better.
I agree. I think if we're stuck, back in 2003, you could make an argument stuck in 2016, pre the Pulse nightclub incident.
Yeah.
It seems like all progress in the city as far as development stopped at that point. Okay. Not saying culturally we stopped. I'm saying economic development stopped at that point. And I don't know why that is. We could dive closer into that, but I surely believe that that is the case. And shoot, I've been debating whether to say this next part. Like, I know the next story we got to get into, but I'm just so tempted. And I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this, Anthony, because I want to be fair about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. And this is an honest question for you, and then I'll dive into why I'm asking this for you, okay?
Okay.
Should we expect leaders to hold themselves to a certain look and appearance? Like, if you look like a slob and you're leading a county or leading a city, isn't that a reflection of that city in some way, right?
Yeah,
I believe so. Okay, let's work through this in real time. We haven't talked about this, so everybody will work through it in real time. I represent my company. I also represent this show. Anthony, as much as we want to get him onto camera, he won't do it. And I love it, because if y'all saw Anthony, sharp dressed, good-looking cat, great dude, okay? Wish he could be the face of the show. All right, so does everybody else. But my point is to say, Anthony, that I represent the show in my look, right? And because of that, people have a certain perception of what the show is. If you just looked at me, flat bill hat, guy looks like he goes to the gym, okay, speaks a certain way. The look and appearance of me, though, makes people believe something, right? How do I say this? And being like, I want to be as serious as I can be about this, Anthony. When I look at the leadership that we have at the city level for Orlando, it looks like most of them have given up on appearance. And to me, that's a reflection of the city itself. Okay. Like, I was looking at that picture of that golden shovels on Church Street of the city leadership. And I thought to myself, I'm like, have these people given up on their appearance being leaders of a city? How citizens look at it and go, okay, this guy looks like he's high and tight. This guy looks like he's somebody that cares about what he looks like, cares about what image he portrays. And to me, that transitions into the image that your city will portray to the rest of the state when somebody comes in. How you take care of yourself also is a reflection of how you take care of your business, your family, your home. And these are things I think that are common sense for people that go to a gym, eat healthy, try to live a lifestyle where they can be proud when they look in the mirror. I'm not always that way, but I do my best. Lord knows I have my addictions. But when I look at our city leadership and county leadership, I'm like, guys, when did you give up? Right? And is that not, I mean, is it wrong to think that, hey, I would like to have city leaders who look like they take care of themselves? I mean, that to me, is that vain of me to want leadership that looks like, hey, I care about the way that I present myself to the public? That to me should be something that I think we all want. Because if given the choice, Anthony, between one person who's equal over here, everything is equal between them. One of them, sharp dressed, looks good, takes care of their body, hair is done. Other person over here, exact same qualifications as far as emotionally and mentally, all that stuff. But that individual, not dressed well, doesn't take care of their body, looks sloppy, shirt untucked, wearing loafers all the time.
You gotta dress to impress, man.
But like, you're a leader in a city. You have kids, you have young adults, you have other business leaders that are looking at you as a city or county leader. What do they see when they look at you? You know, I'll give Chief Smith some credit when Chief Smith came here. Looked high and tight, right, from our OPD. I appreciate that. Listen, I mean, I'm here doing a show. I'm in a polo, okay? What I do know is that when somebody looks at me, they don't go, man, that guy, man, he's really let himself go over there. Now, do I look like when I was bodybuilding back in the day? No. But I still want to present myself in a way that looks like, yeah, all right, this guy does care about the appearance and the image and the brand that he represents out there to the world. Because it's a reflection not only of me, but of my employees. It's a reflection of not only me, but my business, of the way I operate. And I'll say it, man, like, go look at our city leadership. Do they look like they really care about their appearance, about how other people view them? And then maybe you begin to understand why they may not care about the appearance of a city. I don't think that's a far stretch, Anthony.
I feel like the best way I can describe it, I feel like it's almost like Buddy Dyer or like whatever. They were married to Orlando, where it's like they have that honeymoon phase where it's like they're dressing up all nice.
You mean they were like, dating Orlando is what you mean?
Yeah, you know, all and then they're having this whole thing, and then, you know, like after a while, you just get comfortable, and then I think you just get too comfortable, and then you're just like kind of leaning back, and you don't go on those dates. You don't fix it up. You don't gel your hair as much. So I feel like that's kind of what's going on.
That's a really interesting point. Dating versus marrying, right? And I think you're right. When you have some people that have been on the city council for 20 plus years, they stopped dating the city a long time ago. They got married, they've gotten lazy, and what they're like, you know, hey, listen, I'm not going to care anymore. I mean, because the fact is that when you're an incumbent at the city or the county level, you're not going to lose. It would take a lot for somebody to lose, okay? And it takes a lot because of name recognition. Somebody walks in to place their vote. When they get a mail in, it doesn't matter. They're looking at their dining room table. They're going to go with a candidate that they recognize their name if things aren't going absolutely terrible in their area and they've not made a stink about something that candidate has not listened to. For the most part, though, most people can't name who their district commissioner is. So they're just going to say, oh, I've heard that person in the news. They must be decent. Or, you know what, at least they know what they're doing. I'll just go ahead and vote for them. Or they vote along party lines because they don't care enough to actually look at anything. That's where we're at in Orlando, everybody. There is my rant about Orlando, because we've got two more stories, Anthony, that we got to get to in the next 20 minutes, okay? We covered this story. We got anything else on that one, though?
No.
I love that one. Dating versus marrying Orlando. I love that one. Folks, yesterday we posted a video, and it is taking off across the internet. It's not because of us. It's because of the diner, everybody. It's called At the Diner. Is that right, Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay, folks, if you're not checked, go to At the Diner. You can put it into Instagram. You can put it into Facebook. Go check out this awesome small business that's doing a master class right now in how to deal with people that dine and dash. Their viral video was first posted on July the 19th. It shows a family, about 2 adults and 5 kids. They allegedly are walking out on a $300+ tab. Now, this place is family owned, and we're hoping to have the owner on a little bit later today to have a little segment with him. But I just wanted to break down what is going on here. You can see that the family in the video that they have at the restaurant takes time to one by one get up from a table and systematically leave the check on the table to try to get that waitress, that waiter, to have to foot the tab for a $300 bill. That would just destroy a waiter or a waitress who is working probably that morning. This is a popular restaurant in Orlando for tourists to go to. A lot of people go like before the parks. It's a great breakfast spot. Anthony, you've talked about this spot before. Great food, good service, couple locations in Orlando. And yet these people come here and they try to dine and dash and just try to stiff them with a $300 bill. Now, there is no, I know that for the purposes of, I don't know, Facebook and all this stuff, I'm supposed to say, allegedly they did this. Folks, there's nothing allegedly about it. Go watch the video. You can go over to their Instagram, go over to their Facebook. You can check it out. It's very clear what they did. And if you need any more clarity, they called the people yesterday. They got their number from the phone number that they left when they were waiting on a table to be called up the people, and they literally said, well, quote, it will give us clout if you do that. They didn't care at all. They didn't care until that video went ultra viral. It's now, I think, over 15. Can you check on this? I think it might be over 15 million on their Instagram alone. We've got about 1 million on ours. I know others have picked it up as well, including local news stations. If you go over to their stuff and go to their reels, I want to say it's probably close to 15 million now.
Let's see.
And again, folks, you can go over to their Instagram at the diner, and it's at and then AT the diner. What do you got?
10 million.
10 million views since July the 19th, and we're on the 21st right now. An amazing what people can do when you see a cause that everybody can get behind, which if you've been a waiter or a waitress, which everybody should have to do in their life, in my opinion, Anthony, everyone should have to go ahead and work in the service industry so that you can understand how terrible this is. We have people in Orlando that are living paycheck to paycheck, and I'm sure that they gave an amazing service to this family, who you can already know, Anthony. You know what kind of family this was. They were probably jerks the entire way through, and then they try to stiff the bill onto somebody else who's just trying to make a living and support their family. It is absolutely terrible. So it got me thinking, all right, what happens next? Right, Anthony? Like, you have this stuff on film. You have them saying that they did it and that, hey, listen, go ahead and put us out there. It'll give us more clout. You've got the people admitting what they did. It's not like there's any ambiguity here about where this thing went or how it went down. It's clear from the video. It's clear from the perpetrator. So what happens? So the crime itself is, quote, obtaining food or lodging with intent to defraud. It's Florida Statute 509-151, known as defrauding an innkeeper. All right, pretty simple. Now, here's the thing, everyone. It used to be $300 plus was a felony. Damn, not anymore. It's now $1,000 is actually now a felony. So the $300 or so, if it's $350 on the tab, it's a second-degree misdemeanor is what it is. You get up to 60 days in jail, up to a $500 fine, plus you have to pay restitution. The whole case depends on if you had a, quote, intent to defraud. How clear can it be that this family had an intent to defraud? They coordinated, they staged the exit, they got up one at a time, they pulled around their truck so they could make an easy and quick exit. The entire thing was planned. It is obviously an intent to defraud. So this is as clear of a case as what you can possibly have. The problem is simple, Anthony. You know who's going to have to try this case? Here, if you know anything about Orlando, folks, you know this is dead in the water because of one reason. This is going to the 9th Judicial Circuit. That's Monique Worrell. Forget it. Monique Worrell never prosecuted a misdemeanor in her life. She won't prosecute felonies. She sure as heck is not going to prosecute a family for a misdemeanor, because if there's one thing Monique Worrell will not look out for, it's going to be small businesses in Orlando. She'll do it at the expense of somebody else being able to get away with a crime. But no chance in the world Monique Worrell is putting this family or that person or the mother and father in jail for 60 days or doing anything close to a fine that they deserve. Oh my God, it's their first time and they have kids and they have, family obligations. Who cares? Stop. You have to send a message. If Monique Worrell wants me to actually respect her in her position, despite what she's done in the past, then what you do is you coordinate with wherever these people live and you get them penalized the full extent of the law. You put them into jail. You push the absolute maximum with a judge. You call in whatever favor you got to call in, that you send a message to anybody that comes to Orlando. You don't do this to residents of Orlando. That's what Monique Worrell needs to do right now for this restaurant. Have a spine and put these people in jail. This is not even a question for me right here, Anthony. Because when you let crime like this go, it goes back to one thing, everybody. If you've never heard of it, the broken windows theory. The broken windows theory says about any metropolitan area, if you let broken windows go unfixed, then bigger issues will present themselves. The same thing when you have misdemeanor crime. When you let misdemeanors go unprosecuted, then felonies begin to present themselves. And that's what we saw in Orlando as we saw the city decay. Monique Worrell, who's been the weakest on crime you can possibly imagine, everybody knows that basically she's going to let you off if she thinks there's even a sliver that you can do something to, I don't know, culturally show that she's woke. I have no idea why she lets off crime like she does. But everyone knows that she's weak when it comes to crime. This is her chance to do something great for an actual small business and other small businesses in Orlando. And I promise you, she will do absolutely nothing. This family, despite having all the evidence to get them, if they get in front of Monique Worrell, she'll slap them with like a $250 fine and like a no trespassing to come back. That is a Monique Worrell administration. And DeSantis knew it. DeSantis wanted to get rid of her. Our own AG of Florida doesn't like the woman because he's very clear that she's weak on crime. And yet here we are. We're in a perfect situation where a small business needs the law to come up and back them up and give them justice. And they're not going to get it because, unfortunately, they're in the Ninth Judicial Circuit with Monique Worrell. And I feel for them. They're not going to get jack for themselves. Yeah. She's going to look at this case and she's going to go, oh, no, this family with their kids, and I can't take them and put them in jail. No consequences. Their kids are freaking in on it. It's clear that they are. They got up one at a time. Everybody knew what was going on. Stop this crap.
And it's also, too, like, she has kids. You got to do it even more because the kids are going to look at this and be like, oh, this is okay. It's not, don't, like, the kids need to see that there's consequences with what your parents do, even, like, because they think that their parents are, like, the best thing in the world. They're everything. So you got to do something like this to do something bad. Our
AG, Uthmeier, wrote, quote, you are not powerless to influence sentencing outcomes, nor can you have discretion without responsibility. The judge's role is irrelevant to your duty to oppose lenient dispositions for the undeserving. So Uthmeier, who's our AG, is like, hey, listen, guys, this person is too lenient when it comes to what they ask for criminals. And he's right. And nobody ever holds this person accountable because why? We have a weak leadership at the top. It all comes full circle. When you have weak leadership at the top who don't want to enforce laws, who don't pass that enforcement down to OPD, who don't say, hey, listen, when OPD arrests people that we're going to prosecute them to the full extent of the law, then you get people that are weak on crime. You get a city that is falling apart. You have people that don't want to live there and people leave the city. And it starts with all of these people getting together and saying enough is enough. We got to arrest them. We got to prosecute them. We have to be hard on people. There will be consequences when you break the law because you know what? Law and order matters. Consequences when you make mistakes matter. I've gone to jail, folks, a few times. Consequences matter, all right? I'm not sitting here saying I'm perfect. I'm not. But when you have this stuff and this stuff presents itself as an AG, you have to be strong. As a district attorney, you must be strong. Her record is abysmal. I mean, everybody knows Marcus Anderson, 18, when indicted on first-degree murder, faced a possible death penalty, 4 years because he's a youth offender. A guy named LeBron, I can't even pronounce his first couple names, fewer than 6 years for a fatal car crash in a stolen car. Julian Vincent, charged with 25 counts of possessing child material and terrible, terrible stuff. Sentenced as a youth offender, no prison time. Lambert Savion, 20-year manslaughter plea after previously getting probation for carjacking. Youth offender. Then he had this Ahmad guy charged with attempted first-degree, 2021. Case ended with a judge, accepted an insanity defense. Released after treatment. Then he goes on and it's so tough to use these words, folks, because I know how Instagram and I know how YouTube is. He goes on and, exit 3 tourists in Osceola County. Does terrible things. Like, when you are soft on crime, you don't get better people. You get people that take advantage of the system. And I love the fact that liberals and all of our city council and the county live in this utopia world where I guess that, I guess if we're just nice to people, they're going to be nice back to us. But that is not how criminals work. This guy right here who walked out on this tab, hey, Worrell, do the right thing by the people who live here, who are your constituents, and put this man in jail. Put this woman in jail. I don't care how many of them you have to put in jail. Stop being soft on crime and stick up for a small business that's in your community and say it won't be done here. Not in my district. You have a chance right now, man. She has a chance to turn this thing around with this case right now. It is an ultra viral case and it's an easy slam dunk. We're not talking about putting someone away with, forever in jail, but she can send a message right here to her community that at least I hear you as a small business. At least I want to do the right thing. Don't ignore the people that pay your salary. Don't ignore the small businesses that are just begging for law and order right now. And now they're showing you the case on video in a phone call. And they're laying it up for you, Worrell. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to swing and miss? Or are you actually going to knock this one out of the park and give this person jail time? Come on, man. This is such an easy case right here, Anthony. Mm-hmm. All Worrell has to do is put this person in jail and send a damn message. I think there's probably less than a 1% chance this person sees the inside of a jail cell.
She should definitely pay some fines, go to jail for.
Go to jail.
Yep.
No, I'm done with the fines, done with the probation. For me personally, put people in jail that break the law. I've had to spend, and again, folks, I'm not telling you something that I haven't done myself. I am no angel over here. But you know what? When I went to jail the first time, I didn't get the point. When I went to jail the second time, I got the point. All right?
Honestly, though, besides that whole thing, I'm just so happy that the video's gone viral for them because, you know what, I think this is great for the business and definitely going to give them a lot of publicity. And
oh, yeah. I'll be over there on Saturday because I'm going over to be with the runner, the guy who was doing that 50 states. He's kicking off on Saturday, and I'm going to go wish him a good luck over there. He's kicking off from Disney. So going to go there. I told him before I head over there for breakfast. So I'll be there on Saturday morning.
Oh, nice.
We've got to wrap it up, Anthony. I've got a meeting in about 5 minutes. Anything else you want to get through?
No, that's it.
All right. Everybody, we got to get actually down to some business and make some money over here. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the Patrick Carr Show. Had a lot of fun with this one. We will see you tomorrow on Wednesday. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. See you later.